Hello there, and you're most welcome. My name is Bolare, and we're celebrating one great personality today. Like Napoleon Hill puts it, patience, persistence, and perspiration makes an unbeatable combination for success. We're celebrating a visionary entrepreneur, a financial innovator, and a game changer in Ghana's microfinance sector. He is Rechard Quay, and I sit down with him for a great chat. You're most welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
And how are you doing?
I'm good.
We're actually here to celebrate you, to say kudos to you for all that you've done. You've been outstanding in your field, a colossus, like I said in my intro. And clearly, you're an intelligent chap. Navigating through all the years, how does it feel to turn a new age, not just a new age, but to turn 40, Mr. Quay?
I mean, it feels very good. It feels great. 40 is monumental for me because I intend to do a lot of things at 40. Down the years, I plan going on retirement at 40.
Wow.
And so I'm few days to retirement.
What do you say retiring at 40? Is it from active business? And what will you be doing? This is major.
Yeah, I mean, I am that person who always like to do things differently. And in this part of our world, you don't find people going on retirement at mid-age. You normally will find people going on retirement when they are 60, 65. In fact, you even find entrepreneurs still working at 80 and the likes, you know. But I don't always like to do things the way everybody else does it. I think that we are different. If somebody decides to work till 70, 80, that's fine. It's okay. But then I also personally want to retire at 40. And so for me to be able to achieve this satisfactorily means that I would have to structure my businesses well because I have lots of companies here in Ghana.
How many companies now under your belt, Richard?
So in Ghana, we can talk of over 20 companies. And
20?
Yes.
Wow.
And of course, there are others also outside Ghana. There are businesses in Nigeria, in Liberia, Sierra Leone, in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and the likes. And so
you are an African titan and an inspiration to many out there because for many watching and listening, this is the dream, this is the vision. Did you always envisage this?
Not really. I think that in business, you will start very small. You start with a very small dream because, of course, your capital and your will be small when you start, and so your expectations will be quite small. But then as you move forward, things evolve, the road becomes much clearer, and you begin to see things much better. So things evolve, okay? So yes, I've always had big dreams. I'm somebody who dream big because I always believe that as young people, we must have big dreams. We must dream so big that it should scare us.
So Richard, clearly your dreams and aspirations are huge. Yeah. Have you always had this?
So I've always been a big dreamer. I've been dreaming since I was a teenager. And I always believe that you must have a dream that goes beyond your current capacity to achieve it. So
you must have a dream that goes beyond your current capacity
to achieve it.
And you also mentioned earlier that your dreams should scare you. That's interesting.
Yes, because you see, dreams come true, okay? And whatever you dream of, you must know that others have dreamt it and have done it. So nothing is too big. And the world is very unkind to people who are not bold, courageous, and daring. The world is very unkind to them. So you have to be courageous, you have to be bold, you have to be daring, you have to believe in yourself. And then you will know dreaming alone is not enough. But you must dream big.
Right.
But then beyond the dreaming now comes the most crucial of all.
Which is
discipline and your intelligence or decision making.
That's right.
See, I've never seen any successful person who is not disciplined. I've never seen anybody like that. There's no wealthy person who is never disciplined. And I think that the problem or the challenge that most people do have from achieving their dreams is discipline or indiscipline. And you see, when we talk about discipline, we are talking about you doing something that you may naturally not want to do, but you still have to do it anyway, or even sticking to the plan, even when life happens, when things
Consistency.
are going bad, when things are challenging, sticking to the plan. That is the discipline. That is the difference. I think that is what.
Do we have that? I mean, and you are a seasoned entrepreneur in Africa. When you let's use Africa as a playground. Do you see that discipline and consistency?
I can
Be frank.
I can say that one of the challenges that we have on the continent has to do with indiscipline. I mean, there's a lot of indiscipline all around our life, and many of the young people lack discipline, I must say, because discipline also means that you would have to learn to give things time, okay? Because also discipline, when you begin doing business or you're working and you begin making money, what do you do with the money? Can you wait and reinvest your income, and then the returns you get on it and reinvest it,
right.
and wait for time? Because you see, I think that there are some few things that you need, or one of the, let me say, two things that you need to successfully build a business is capital and time.
Now you're taking us to a finance class 101 at the university. You must be a lecturer in your next life. Capital and time. How do they play crucial roles in success?
Because you see, to create wealth, you can be rich overnight, because you can win a lottery, you can inherit someone's fortune. You have become rich overnight, but then you are not wealthy. Okay, to be a wealthy person means that you must build assets. You must build good assets that will generate money over a long period of time, during your time on earth and after your time
That's
on
a
earth.
legacy.
Then you have created the legacy, and that is wealth creation. And for you to create wealth, you will need time. Nobody creates wealth overnight. And time means that whilst you begin making money, you would have to be patient and continue to stick to the plan, plowing back your money over and over and over again into businesses, into investments. You get your returns, you don't spend it. You are faced with the temptation of trying to live a particular life very early, and you have to be patient to continue to invest the money, continue to invest it into businesses and the likes, so that this money will grow over time. Because you see, but there's one thing that people don't really appreciate, which is very key for creating maximum wealth. You see, most people say that, let's say from the beginning, you are saving $1,000, okay? And then you'll be like, oh, when I want to make $1 million, if it takes me a whole month to make $1,000, when would I save to become $1 million? This is not possible. This is beyond my reach. But you see, what people don't understand is that the time it takes you to make your first $1,000, it will not take you the same time to make your next $1,000.
Interesting.
And as you go forward, if it even takes you 1 month to make $1,000, if you save this money and invest it, you will realize that at some point it can even take you 1 week to make the $1,000. The next time it takes you 1 day to make the $1,000. The next time it takes you 1 hour to make the $1,000. So you see, if let's say you make your first $1 million, and then you'll be like, oh, I want to become a billionaire. The question is, then you can ask yourself, oh, when am I going to be a billionaire? It's going to take a long time. But you know what? The time it takes you to make it took you to make your first $1 million, you will not need the same time to make your next million. Because you see, when you make your first $1 million, I can tell you for free,
tell us
that maximum 10 years after making your first $1 million, you should have $1 billion.
Maximum 10 years after making your first million.
Yes.
At what age did you make your first $1 million? You were how young?
I was 27 years.
27?
Yes.
And by your analogy, in 10 years, you should be able to make $1 billion.
Of course.
Have you made that billion? Because you are 40. You've crossed that part of 37.
It has taken me 13 years.
13 years to do that.
I mean, 13 years after I made my first $1 million.
To make $1 billion. It talks about discipline. And you were really keeping your eyes on the ball.
Exactly. You know, discipline is everything. Okay, it's everything. And when you build a business, you will face a challenge of having employees that are indisciplined.
Right.
You would have to be that leader who is disciplined, that will set a very good example for your team. You would have to build a culture in the organization that really understands discipline. Because without discipline, you will not be able to achieve anything. It is the greatest asset that you need. You see, because wealth creation is created from within,
Right.
not from outside.
Outside.
So we attract success. We don't pursue success.
Today, you are giving some nuggets of wisdom, and they are deep. For those who really, will understand, will just grab it. That we attract success.
Yes.
We don't pursue success.
So
I think that this should be a rich knee, Amakwe quote right there somewhere on some wall. That you attract success. You don't pursue success. How so, Richard?
because you see, to become successful, there is something you must become. You must become a particular person to be successful. Okay. And so you have to work on yourself first. You have to become a better version of yourself. You must always work to improve yourself. And that includes being very disciplined. Okay.
Wow.
Now, once you do that, you are going to be very successful. So it's going to be a whole lot more difficult for you to make, for example, your first $1 million. Do you know why? Because during that period, you have to go through the process of improving yourself.
Right.
You are not who you have to be to make your first $1 million. And so it's going to be very difficult for you. But once you make your first $1 million, it means that you have become what you must be to attract the money.
Wow.
And so now your next 10 million, your next 100 million, your next 1 billion is inevitable because you have become what you must be.
Interesting. Earlier, you mentioned challenges in business. Clearly, Quick Angels or Bill's microcredits didn't just rise up out of the blue to be here.
Yeah.
You've seen the ups and downs. Recount 3 challenging moments where you thought, wow, is this meant for me and should I carry on? The first one would be when?
So the first one would be the early days when I had to start my business. I come from a very poor, humbling
Let's hear the story.
background, okay? So I was raised by my mother.
Where was that?
Dad was around. I mean,
Is he still around?
he's still around. He's still around.
But we always see you because mom has played a pivotal role in your life.
Yes. So my mom raised me. My dad played a little role, but my mom played the most crucial and the most important role. My mom is my inspiration. She's my inspiration. She's the main reason behind my success. I think that she raised me up the best of way because when we were young, we had nothing. We slept in a single room.
You slept in a single room?
A single room with my mom and my sister.
Wow.
My mom slept on the bed. My sister and I slept right beside her on the mat. And we had only a single ceiling fan and a small size TV at Kolegono. And during those days, things were very, very, very difficult and tough for us. I recall that there are times that we even sleep in the dark, not because there is no electricity in the community,
you couldn't
but
afford.
because we couldn't afford. And so in the compound house that we live, we will have our light cut off when other neighbors have light. That was
Did you ever once or twice go to bed hungry?
I think that my mom tried so much on that. She always made sure that we had what we eat. She had to always improvise and make something, prepare something, manage something.
To put food on the table,
yeah,
at
our
least.
mothers would always put at least what we must eat. They will go every mile to make sure that what we must eat, we get it. And that is something that I'm very much grateful for the sacrifices that she did for me. But I think that my mother used to always inspire me when we were going through this difficulty. She would be like, my son, you know I love you so much. I said, yes. You see the situation we find ourselves in? I said, yes. I said, I am counting on only you. You know, you are my only son.
Wow.
And it's me, your sister, and you. We are looking up to you. I am counting on you to lift us out of this situation we find ourselves in. If you want me to live long and stay and be by your side, then take us out of this situation. My mother was telling me
Those were powerful words.
She was telling me this when I was a teenager. When I was 15 years, 16 years, she was telling me things like this persistently and frequently. And so I had that zeal because you know that as a son, you want to see your mother smile. You want to put a smile on your mother's face. And if all she's telling you is that this is what she wants you to do, I think that it energized me and inspired me at a very early age to get out there and face the world head on.
Wow.
And I think that that has been my driving force. Right after secondary school, I had to even sell local gin.
Oh, you've done that before,
Yeah,
Rechard.
yeah, in Accra, Jamestown. Jamestown, there's a place called Akutolante Agbado.
You used to
go
sell
there,
gin, the local gin.
Yes, when you go to Akutolante Agbado.
But you were not even 18. That was not even allowed, but you were doing it just to survive.
I have to survive. I have to survive. And so I was selling that in the evening. I was selling beer.
I still going to
Guinness.
school.
Yeah. And then at that time I was at then IPS, now UPS, yeah, IPS. So I had to do this to be able to support myself because my mother couldn't afford my education fee at the time. So I must do something to support myself. So I was selling alcohol over there, saving money to pay for my school fees.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I had to do all of that. And the hunger was there very early. Okay. So I had to do that, going to school at UPSA in the evening, come and sell alcohol, and I had to save money. When I got to, I was doing ACCA.
Wow.
I was doing ACCA, which is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. So I'm an accountant by profession.
You're a chartered accountant?
By profession.
Wow.
Okay, I did the ACCA.
Right.
Yeah. So I had to leave at the final. When I got to the final level, I had saved some money from selling the alcohol. I had to pay for my tuition fee in UK.
UK.
And I left. I applied for visa, and fortunately, I had admission.
So you left Ghana then for all in the name to struggle and make ends meet.
Yes, and I left, I think, age 22. Wow. At age 22, I had taken myself to the UK, not someone taking me to the UK.
You saved enough money to...
Yes, and I applied for visa myself.
Let's stay on that, because that's the first challenge, navigating it. How were you able to do? Because for many business people, that is a major challenge. Planning, coordinating, budgeting your time. Yeah. And you did that even before age 22 to know that, let me do this and see to get myself out of this hardship. How did you do it?
You know, you have to understand that you have to start early. Okay, I think that one of the things that many of the young people in our country and on our continent must understand is that we must start early, because it takes time to build big things. And you cannot, at this stage, you are allowed to make mistakes. You can make mistakes. You can do try and error at a very early age. But at a certain age, you should not be doing try and error anymore. So you need to start early. And so my mother, like I said, was pushing me. You see, so I had to go to the UK. I was doing full-time schooling there. I was working. I was doing 2 jobs to support my education there, pay my
What kind of job were you doing?
So I was working at Tesco.
Oh.
So I was filling the aisle in the evening when shoppers are done. Then I come to work in the evening after school. And then when you go to the shop, you will see that everything is packed on the aisle nicely. We come to work in the evening to come and carry the things from the warehouse
so that shoppers can shop.
So that shoppers can shop. I did that, and then I also worked in City Inn Hotel. So it's a very big hotel in central London, and I was washing dishes. So I was a kitchen porter.
Really?
Yes, at the City Inn Hotel, I was washing.
You know
something?
Yeah.
I wash as many as about 5,000 dishes a day.
You don't need it.
Yeah, it's a very big hotel.
How does it get to you, and how do you deal with negative narratives when you hear them, Rechard? I know you have a tough skin, I know, but yes, sometimes it will get to you. How do you handle it?
I learned something that, you see, in this world, when you decide to become kind to people, people will still have interior motive anyway.
Yeah.
When it takes you 1 year, or it takes you 1 year to build something big, people can use one night to destroy it, but you still have to build it anyway. The fact that people would when you become kind to people, people would have ulterior motive that you are doing it for whatever reason. You still have to be kind anyway. Let me tell you something. You even build business. You employ people. You create jobs. You contribute to the economy. People will still find negative reason behind all of these things. Right. But you still have to do it anyway. Do you know why? Because at the end of the day, it is between you and your God anyway. You see, so you have to understand that people will have negative thoughts about you. People will always throw negative stories about you, but you have to keep your eyes on the prize.
Does it get to you?
It doesn't get to me at all.
I love that.
Because I have come to realize that I have come to expect it. Okay, I'm very, 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 because I also learned from a very good friend who is an elderly person, told me that, you see, when people don't talk negative about you in this part of our world, then you are not successful, you are not achieving anything. Because all successful people in this part of our world have negative stories around them, and you won't be the first. We can only encourage the young people out there growing up that they must admire people who are living their dreams.
Right.
For example, let me tell you something about Despite.
Despite, yeah.
When I heard of Despite and how he was doing well with Peace FM and his cassettes.
Cassette business, even before, yes.
I was in JHS.
Correct.
You know, but I've always been very interested in the things he was doing. Because you see, when you hear your fellow countryman doing successful things, you should be inspired.
So exactly, we have people that we look up to, and you have a good heart. You looked up to people like that. You're in JHS, and he says sometime you'll be like him, or even be more by the grace of God.
know.
Still on the career journey, when did that breakthrough come for you to say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to set up Quick Angels?
So I had one lecturer that I admired the most. I think that is my greatest mentor. He's called Michael Mainwaring. He was teaching us business analysis at the London College of Accountancy. So I was at the London College of Accountancy.
Okay.
So this lecturer was teaching us business analysis. And then one day after class, I was leaving. Apparently, I was the last person leaving the class, you know. Then he called me. He said, Richard, come over here. Then I went to him. Then he said, you know something? What are your plans after school? You are completing school later this year. Are you planning to stay like all your colleagues and everybody does, or you are planning to go back home? Then I was like, I'm trying to think about it to see whether I'll go. And he's like, no. Richard, you know what? Go back home. Don't stay after school. Teaching you, I can see that you are a very smart student. You are intelligent. And I want to believe that when you go back home, you will succeed way better than when you stay here. He was like, when I stay in the UK, even though I am educating myself, he says that the opportunity here will be very small for me, and I will not be able to compete better. But when I go back home, I will be able to compete better. And he has no doubt in his mind that I will go and compete and win the competition. And he
said that to you many years ago.
Listen to what he said. I'm not even done. He says that he believes that I will make it very big back home. Then my success would open the door for me to come back to the UK. And then I should come back. And I should come back in my private jet and come and pay him a visit. That's what this man told me 17 years ago.
You're only 23. He's more than a lecturer. He's a prophet. He spoke into your life.
Yeah.
And 17 years on, all that he said, you've achieved. Out there in the Western world, these are industry captives. These are titans of business. And they actually come out there to impart and impact. Because they live it.
In the business school, if I have my way, anybody who has not succeeded in the business
will not lecture there.
You cannot lecture there.
Really?
Because you see, you can only teach what you know, but you will reproduce who you are. So if you have not built anything, trust me, you will reproduce students who will build nothing.
So are you saying that entrepreneurship lecturers and business lecturers don't have any business if they themselves haven't built any business of their own?
Of course. What are you imparting? What you read in the book? No, it's one thing to go and read something and come and tell somebody. And it's another thing to tell somebody what you yourself have achieved. These are two different things. And in the advanced economies, that is the way they are going about it. And so you find out that they are creating students or graduates who are very, 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 very practical and very insightful. So they come to the market after school and they are so innovative doing all sorts of things because they have been well equipped practically from the classroom and not theoretically.
And this is what you're actually advocating for, that in our curriculum here, educationally, we should also start giving it a thought or maybe implementing such.
Of course, that if I have my way, that is what I insist on that. So coming back to what I was saying, okay?
Right.
So I have so much admiration for this lecturer because he's a successful person himself. So when he told me this, I was like, all right, Michael, I'm going to do that. Immediately, 1 week after he spoke to me, I bought my ticket ahead of time.
A week after he
spoke to me, I was convinced that I had to go back home. But I didn't know what I was going to do. And I had not, it's not as if I've saved money and I had money, but I was like, no, I had to go. Because, you see, you always have to take a step. So I bought the ticket down. So I knew that once I've bought the ticket, I can't change my mind. I have to go back home. Yeah. So right after, and let me tell you this, when I finished school, I called my mom and my sister. I told them that I am coming back home next week. My mother was like, hold on a second. What did you say?
What in the world are you saying?
Coming back home. I said, what are you coming to do? Have you done anything wrong there? Are you in trouble? Are people looking for you? I said, no. They said, so why? People are in a queue waiting to get embassy,
visa
queuing
to go.
At the embassy trying to get visa to go. And you are there. And you said you are coming. Why? I said, ma'am, I went to school. I'm done with school. He said, yes, but stay on, look for job, work, make money so that you can send me money so that you can become a better person. Don't come here.
Which is the norm for many people. You go to school, you stay there. And
yes. So I told her, no, I want to come. So she was like, oh, my enemies have gotten me. my mom was like, the enemies have gotten
It must have been a tough one for you.
It was a very tough one.
Because you love your mom and you were actually going against her will.
Yes. So it was a very tough decision. At a point, I almost nearly changed my mind, but I was like, no, I had to go. So I realized that they were not willing to come to terms with me that I was coming back home, okay? So I just left them. I'm like, well, when I get to Ghana, I'm already in Ghana. We'll figure it out. So a day before I left, I called them and told them that I am actually coming and my flight is landing at this time, so they can come for me. So when I came to Ghana, I didn't know what to do. I had to figure out things, understand, because I've left the system, so I had to spend some months to adjust into the system a little. But there's something intriguing that happened. So in Quay, where we lived, when someone comes from the UK, Europe, US, or what have you, people in the community perceive you to be somebody who is rich. Oh. They assume that once you
so that's the perception.
That's the perception in the local community there. So I realized that many people were coming to knock on my door and ask me to lend them like 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis. Some they want 500 cedis to pay their children's school fees. They'll give it to me when the month ends. Okay. Some come for ask me for 2,000 to pay a medical bill for their sick child or spouse, and they'll give it to me at a particular date. And I was getting many of these requests because they perceive that I have money because I've come from Europe. And I also learned in the business school that these things, when they come, they are opportunities. Where there are problems, there are opportunities. When you find a problem, you face it, it's a business opportunity for you. So then I was like, okay, if these people will come to me asking me for 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis at a particular, for them to pay at a particular date, why don't I rather set up a business formally to give them these 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis, 2,000 cedis?
This is interesting because for many it would have been a problem and you would have written them off and sacked them. You saw a business opportunity in there.
I had never worked in any financial institution before. I had no knowledge of running a financial institution. I have no banking experience or what have you. This is how I encountered.
And you were how old? Because you must have been in your 20s, right?
I started my company with 24 years.
24 years?
Yes.
You're a visionary?
Yes. So 24 years, I was like, okay, if this is what these people in my community are coming to ask, then let me register a business where the business was called Quick Credit. So I set up Quick Credit. And okay, come now formally. I announced to all of them that if you need money, come and let me give you. But guess what? I didn't have money anyway.
I was going to ask you, where did you get the funds from then?
I didn't have money anyway. I was having very little money then. This is about $1,000. And so what I did was that there was a small shop in front of my grandfather's house where we all lived. You know, my mom and my aunties and uncles and the like. So I asked my mother to give me access to a small space there. That is where I started.
In that shop?
In that shop. Where I
started. So you didn't have a formal office?
No, I didn't.
It was just a tabletop business when you started?
Tabletop business. And
you're kidding me?
That's where I started, yeah. Well, the office is just the size of where we are sitting, right here. Just a small place here. And that's where we started. So it was just about 2 of us who started the business. And what I did was that when I was coming back from the UK, those days was the era of plasma TV. if you recall,
Yes,
plasma TV.
exactly, yeah.
So when I was coming, I came back with a 42-inch plasma TV, a home theater, and then I had just about
Dollars.
$1,000 on pounds on me.
Pounds, okay.
And I went to my mother one day in the house, and I told my mom that, Mom, the TV that I'd come to fix for you, that you are watching with my sister, I want to go and sell it. Guess what? She was like,
are you mad? Okay.
So do you understand why I begged you not to come back to Ghana? Do you understand why I begged you not to come? Now you have begin selling your belongings, your properties.
Wow.
My mother started sharing tears.
Wow.
That I'd gotten, because in this local community, our parents always see it as a taboo for you to begin selling your personal belongings.
Exactly.
So once you begin selling your personal belongings, then you are at your very, very low. So So I told her, yes, I want to go and sell it. She shouldn't worry. And that
But you didn't tell her for what?
I told her.
Did. Okay.
But then I started the business with the little money that I have.
Right.
But then I realized that after giving loans to just about 5 people, my money was finished. I had given loans to 5 people, my money was finished. And there was still demand. So I needed to generate money through other means to invest into the business for growth. My mother was watching me. I started on fixing this TV, placed it in the box, and I took it to Accra Post Office. There's a place they call Zongo Lane. Cow Lane, there's Zongo Lane there. I took it there. Those days when you take a plasma TV by 30 minutes, it was at that time, plasma TV was a hot commodity.
Yes.
Once you took it there by 30 minutes, they would have given you money because there's somebody ready to sell to. So I took it there, the home theater, I took everything and sold them.
You sold everything on the day, Richard?
I sold them the same day. I went by 2 hours, I sold the money, I bought the money. The next day, I had customers in line that I had to call them and say, come for your
family didn't have a TV to watch, no music to listen to or radio, because you've sold all those items.
Home theater.
You were not bothered?
I was very bothered. I was very emotional about it. I was very, very down when I was doing that. I wasn't really stubborn about it at all. One of the best moments in my life was when I replaced that TV. So about 6 months or say 8 months down the line,
you did
the 42-inch TV that I sold. I brought them a 50-inch TV back.
Wow.
Yes, I brought them a home theater, and now business was growing, business was doing well, so I could afford a whole lot of things.
Today you can buy 1 million plasma TVs if given the chance. Why not?
I can tell you that confidently that 10 years ago, I could afford anything that the world is selling. 10 years
anything
ago. Anything.
10 years ago.
I could afford anything that is on sale in this
But
world.
now you can.
But I never did.
Really?
I never did. 10 years ago, I never
So 10 years ago, you could have bought a Rolls Royce.
I could have bought a Rolls Royce. I could buy a private jet. I could buy...
10 years ago when you were 30.
When I was 30.
You could have bought a private jet.
Anything that was on sale, I could
Private jet that was going for maybe $20 million.
I could buy anything that was on sale.
But you didn't.
I never did.
Why?
Because when you have a plan that is working, you have to stick to the plan and allow the plan to work. Because you see, there is this compound effect element of money. When money is growing, at a stage, it begins to grow abnormally. And you see, your money can also be another business. Wow. Our money can work for us. You see, when you work with your energy to make money, there is limit to how much you can do. Because you are human. A day you have only 24 hours. You also get tired. So there's limit to what your energy can do for you, or as a person you can do. But your money has no limit to how much it can make for you. At 30, you could have afforded, anything in this world.
You wanted to wait till 40. So at 40, have you bought that private jet? And it's a question we're putting to you.
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes.
At what? $50 million?
I have bought a Gulfstream.
You have bought a Gulfstream.
Yeah.
And that ranges for my checks. That is, it depends between 20 million and 100 million US dollars.
All I need is a Gulfstream. I need a private jet.
Which type of Gulfstream? What is it?
So it's a G200. A G200.
What is a seater like?
It's a 9-seater private jet.
9-seater private jet.
Yeah.
A Gulfstream.
A Gulfstream. Yeah.
Oh, you're a big man, and God has done well. This is the boy who was selling akweteshi in Kolegono just to make ends meet, to pay for his school fees.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 40 years on earth.
Yeah.
You have a private jet worth over $50 million. When you sleep, what goes through your mind?
When I was 30, I set some goals for myself. I told myself that You know, I'm somebody who always talk to myself. People who are close to me will tell you that I'm always talking.
You speak to yourself.
I
Is
speak
it
to
in the mirror or when you're just alone?
When I'm alone in the mirror, whatever. I always believe that like I'm two in one. So I always talk and then I respond to myself and all of that. So I told myself when I was 30, let me see, one part of me was setting very big goals for myself for me to achieve at 40. I got scared. I was like, oh, but this is not achievable. This is not possible. Then the other me was like, no, it's possible. Achieve it. You can. Then the other me responded, so when I do, what do you give me? Then the other me was like, okay, if you do, then I'm going to get you this, get you that, get you that, and get you that. You know, so I'm like, okay, so if I do, you get me a private jet. Yeah. You get me a luxury car, fast car, the most expensive.
That must be a Bugatti.
Yes.
Have you bought it too?
I have a Bugatti.
You have a Bugatti. What is it? Is it a Veyron? Is it a Devo? Which one?
It's a Chiron Sport.
It's a Chiron Sports.
Yeah.
That should set you back like some $4 million.
Yeah.
And you have it right here.
Yeah.
On the soil of Ghana.
Yeah. That's some few toys for myself as I turn 40.
As you turn 40.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the 40th celebration and all of that. Now we're just getting the business wisdom and the commerce information and all of that. But yes, it's good to give and pamper yourself.
Yeah, you know, I can confidently tell you that my biggest fan, I admire myself so much.
I love this. You're one of the few people on planet Earth. I mean, maybe apart from me, that will say to yourself every day that I love myself and what I do.
I love myself so much. I admire myself so much. Wow. I'm super, super proud of myself, you know, because I know where I started.
That's right.
I know how far I've come. I know how difficult the journey has been. The trials, the tribulations, the challenges, the low moments, and all the sacrifices. I know how painful it has been over the period.
You need to reward yourself.
So sometimes you need to apply the brakes a little and then give yourself a treat.
And you know one thing I want you to do for me? What about that sweet woman in your life, your mother? As you turn 40, you got in yourself a private jet, a Bugatti. What is mom getting, Rechard?
So
you know she's my sweetheart too.
So you know, mom, when I was young, she has her own dreams.
Right.
And she was telling me when I was a teenager that when you make money, I don't want you to give me your money to any woman. You have to look at me, your mother first. If you don't want me to get deadly on any woman, okay? You see the pain we are going through today. Wow. There's no woman right here with us.
Wow.
And so let me tell you what I want. Then my mother was like, she wants me to build a one-story building or a duplex house for her. She wants a 5-bedroom house. She wants an upper terrace where she can come and stand. In the morning, she will come and stand on the terrace and watch all her neighbors and see what is happening around.
She told you that?
Yeah, she told me when I was a teenager. And she told me she wanted a house to be a white house. And she wants me to buy her a white car. And she doesn't want a saloon car. And she wants a 4-wheel drive. She wants a car that when she sits on it, when she sits in it, she will be like she's up. And this is a poor woman talking. Let me say that.
At the time.
And the woman struggling to pay electricity bills, and take, but this is what she was telling me.
Audacious goals, great dreams.
Audacious, great. And she was telling me this as a young man.
Wow.
And so when I started doing business and business started going well, she was my priority. She was my first priority. I must fulfill my mother's dream for her
before yours,
so that I can concentrate on mine. Wow. So for my mother, I have fulfilled a dream for her years ago.
Exactly
what she told me.
You built her that White House.
That White House
is there.
Just as she told me when I was young, and you know what? She told me that she doesn't want that house in all of these new communities coming like.
She wants it in her neighborhood.
She said she wants it in the community that we are growing up. Mamprobi, Kolegono, Dansoman.
So it is there.
So that is exactly where I put it. I had to go and buy. You know that those places there is no land.
Buy an estate, a house, and knock it down.
Buy an estate, knock it down, put her dream house for her.
At what age did you do that?
32 years, 33 years or so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you getting her then?
My private jet is for myself and my mom.
Oh, yes. How sweet. Yeah. Sweet son indeed.
Yeah.
You are ready to take her around the world.
Yeah, she's really my inspiration. She inspires me a lot. My mother is also very proud of me.
How being able to do it? It's always your mom, your mom, your mom. So in all these days and years, you didn't have a girlfriend or you didn't have anybody. How were you able to stay focused?
So I got married at 25. Yes.
25?
Yeah.
That early?
Yeah, I got married very early. I left the market very early. But you know what?
Are you back on the market?
I'm back on the market. I'm divorced.
Oh,
so I'm back on the market now.
Are you single and searching, or you are single but you are not searching?
I'm back on the market. What do we do on the market?
You trade. You trade.
Yes. And
what's your okay? Go ahead.
And you know, I was married for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, but
it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. You know, life things happens, and one of my low moments in life. You know, but
so getting divorced is one of your low moments because you look at what you've achieved and all of that. I mean, you'd have wished.
My goal is to keep my family, keep my marriage till the end of time. I did every effort to
but it didn't work out.
Salvage it, to keep it, you know, but it didn't work out. But everything is on the table. You can't rule anything out in life. I mean, the reality is that currently I'm a divorcee, I'm a single man, and I'm back on the market. And
that is it.
Know, and you are married, so I don't want to see you on the market.
I'm not on the market.
Yes, I don't want to see you anywhere.
It's a market for you guys.
Yes.
So no, and what kind of
if I find, when I'm searching and I find you somewhere, there'll be trouble.
No. I'm helping you to find. Can I join in the search?
So let us find our thing. Leave us and let's find our thing.
Let's get into your business investment portfolio. And Rechard, we salute you for all that you built. I mean, from ground up. You mentioned early on investing in startups, believing in young ones, and saying, look, this is it. Your business investment portfolio, how is it like now? Maybe, yes, we can do an evaluation of it, but how many do you have in what countries?
So you see, before I answer that question, I would like to let you understand something. You see, Quick Credit was 15 years last year, and it has evolved to be now called Bills. You see, Bills is one of Ghana's largest financial institutions.
It's one of Ghana's largest
financial institutions.
What is the portfolio like?
So we are currently serving 300,000 active customers. And just so you appreciate what these 300,000 active customers are, the Accra Sports Stadium, when it is full to capacity, it is a size of 40,000 people. When Accra Sports, see how huge Accra Sports Stadium is. When it is full to capacity, it has 40,000 people. So Bills is serving 8 times the capacity of Accra Sports Stadium. That is the level of impact that Bills is having on the economy of Ghana, or the financial landscape of Ghana. And then to answer your question directly, let me give you a record for the past 2 years. In 2023, Bills disbursed a total loan of 1.7 billion Ghana cedis.
1.7 billion Ghana cedis.
And in 2024, we disbursed a total of 1.8 billion Ghana cedis.
That's incredible.
So when you put it together, in only 2 years,
yes,
we have invested directly into the hands of Ghanaians
35 million.
3.5 billion, not million, please.
Billion.
3.5 billion Ghana cedis in direct loans to Ghanaians. And that is how big Bills is. Now, when I talk about how much we have disbursed, for instance, there are only few financial institutions in Ghana. So, for example, the savings and loans companies in Ghana, none of them come close.
Really? So
not all of them.
There's no match.
It's a mismatch. None of them come close to this.
It means that you are on top in terms of disbursement and access.
Yes.
Because between 2023 2024, you're doing 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. That's a huge one.
Our impact on society is huge. Bills, though it's a microfinance company, that is our business strategy. That's our business model. That is where we want to be. But it is a huge financial institution here in Ghana. And you see, even the commercial banks, Bills is, in terms of our loan portfolio
and assets,
we are bigger than over 50% of the banks.
So why are you not a bank?
If we want to be a bank, we become a bank.
Oh, okay. So it is not the capital limitation or the capitalization of it.
It is the capital requirement of being a bank in Ghana is only 400 million Ghana cedis.
And you've exceeded that.
We can afford it. It is
400 million.
400 million is less. It's about $8 million.
Correct.
We can afford it to get a license to be a bank if we want to be several years back.
So why not?
Because you see, you have to stick to
what you do best.
The plan. When something is winning, you stick to it. you evolve. We understand that, and we've been evolving over the years. What we used to do down the years is not what we are doing today. We are evolving. We are evolving. We are becoming a fintech more and more because that is where the world is moving to. So we are also evolving towards that line. But we are maintaining the core business. We are not shifting away from what we know how to do best.
Right.
Okay. So when it comes to microfinance, that is our core strength. And you know one thing too. One of the reasons why we have not shifted to become a bank, the banks are many in the economy, and they are serving only a few. So 80% of the Ghanaian population falls within the microfinance space.
Okay.
That is a critical segment of the economy, and that is where the market is so big.
So you believe that you have a
so-
call to duty to serve such.
People. Okay, so we are not there because we are a small financial institution. We are there because that is where our strength is. That is where our capacity is. That is where our technical know-how is, and that is where we do it better than anybody else on the continent.
Now I want us to talk about Quay Angels.
Yeah.
The overarching one, I mean, is right there at the top where you sit as the chairman of it.
So when you talk about Quay Angels, then you are talking about me as an angel investor.
Correct.
So through Quay Angels, I opened my door for young people in our country to come and share with me their business ideas, to come and open to me businesses that they have started at a very early stage, that they are having financial challenges,
Okay.
and they are having operational challenges or what have you, but the business is promising,
Yeah.
and they need some partner who has the financial strength, the business
Expertise as well.
and experience,
Right.
and the necessary networking that would help turn their small businesses into national and global business.
Wow.
That's what Quay Angels is about. And so, I mean, over the years, we've been able to successfully partner so many young Ghanaians to build what used to be small businesses into national businesses.
So now they are living their dream, how they
yes.
envisaged it to be.
Yes,
Kind Courtesy, Quay Angels,
Yes.
now is a reality.
yes, that is it. So there are young people who, I mean, there are many of them, but I can talk about, let's say, a few of them who, right after university, they came to Quay Angels. A good example is Pizza Man Chicken Man.
Pizza Man, Chicken Man.
Yes.
What's the story?
So Pizza Man Chicken Man, you have two young boys from KNUST, the university. Whilst they were in school, they had a tabletop oven in their hostel where they were selling pizzas to their fellow colleagues in school.
On campus.
And so they heard of Quay Angels, and then they came to the office. When they came, they had baked a pizza, and they brought it to pitch. Two young people, and they said that they believe that they have the best pizza recipe for the best pizza in this country, and that should taste it. We should have a taste of it.
Just like that.
Yes, we should have a taste of it, and that they want us to invest and build, help them bring their dreams to reality. And with that day, there were a lot of people pitching that day. In fact, they were the last to pitch. They came very early in the morning too. And as at 9 p.m., we were still in the office pitching. And they were the last. They sat there till that time. And so I was even exhausted. And then they were the last when they came, two young little boys. And then they walked in. When they walked in with their pizza in their hands. And the pizza they had prepared since morning. So you can imagine. And they were like, and they begged me, do we have microwave here? They want to microwave this pizza so I could taste it. I'm like, okay, we have a microwave in the office. Yes, so the microwave, they brought it, we tasted it. And then they were like, so I loved their zeal. They were very passionate. I love their qualities. And I saw that these were young people that I felt comfortable to place a bet behind them. Because
They were promising young men that you knew that.
Angel investment is the most riskiest thing to ever do in terms of business. It's the riskiest class of assets you can hold because over 90% of startup businesses fail.
Yeah.
So when you are an angel investor, then you are like a gambler. You're a gambler. The only difference is that you are not gambling with lottery or numbers, but you are gambling behind human beings And in this particular one, you can turn the odds in your favor. You see, you are not relying on the machine.
Right.
to
So,
tell
so,
you-
so, so, an entrepreneur and an angel investor, help us understand the difference,
Okay, so
because they all take risk, right?
yeah, they all takes risk, okay. But entrepreneur is investing his money to build his own business,
Okay.
manage and grow and make money for himself. But an angel investor would
Invest in
now
others.
will invest in others who have skills, who have
The know-how and
know-how in other things, but they do not have the financial resources. So they'll bring their expertise, their skill on board. The angel investor will take the risk by investing wholly into the business. And then when the business succeeds, they share
Yes.
in the
dividends
profits
and all,
based
profit,
on what
yeah.
was agreed on the terms
Then,
that was
as an
agreed.
angel investor, you need to be knowledgeable, and or is there some sense within? How do you notice that this will work? And for you, like you said, you are just like a gambler, and you bet on people, and they've done very well.
Yes. So
Is there an inner feeling to it, or some intuition? What is it?
I am a very successful businessman myself.
Correct.
So I understand the business environment very well. I know how to do it. When I see somebody possessing the qualities of success, I can see,
right.
because I know what you need to be to become successful. So when I sit on the pitching table, there are a lot of things that I look out for. And when people come and pitch, it's easy for them to make everything look good, everything work out on the drawing board or on PowerPoint.
yeah.
But as an angel investor who is experienced, you look beyond the PowerPoint and the pitching. You can read through the lines. I can see all the mistakes. I can see all the forgery. I can see everything. If something will work out, I can see much better because I'm experienced in what I am doing. Okay, so that helps in making decisions. But I can tell you this for free too, that
Right.
most of the best decisions we make in business, we make them out of intuition and gut feeling. Listen, I've invested in things that I've done all the analysis. The analysis were right,
And it
turned
didn't
out
work.
It didn't work. It is very standard. It is normal.
Okay.
No angel investor in this world has had all the businesses invest in succeed. Once that happens, then you are not an angel investor. You are doing something else. Because angel investor is a very risky thing. You take risk on businesses that are not tried and tested. You invest in people who have not succeeded in life before. So some of them you get wrong. Some of them, they have a very good business model, they have a good product or skill, but success goes beyond the product, the skill, and the model. There is a bad character about the person you won't see at the pitching table. You would only invest a year or two before you come and realize that this guy is completely garbage.
And you've done so well. There's a pizza man you mentioned, chicken man. Now, how many branches of pizza man?
Chicken Man has almost 100 outlets nationwide.
100 outlets, and this is a locally grown company.
It's the largest food chain in Ghana. I mean,
Come again? It's the largest food chain in Ghana.
Yes, by far.
Owned by Ghanaians.
Owned by Ghana.
Proudly.
In the food space across the continent, all these fast food, high-profile businesses are owned by the Lebanese, the Indians, and the foreigners. Okay, Ghanaians and Africans are not able to manage the food chain business because of, first of all, the capital that is required, the logistics, the challenges behind it. Okay, so anytime Africans try to own that kind of business, they fail at it.
Correct.
So across the entire continent, the food chain business, which is very profitable, but it is owned by foreigners. But we want to change the narrative.
Are we going global, or maybe let's say continental, with chicken man, pizza man? Are we going to see it in other countries?
I am a multinational myself. I have businesses in over several African countries. So all my business will follow the same trail. Pizza Man, Chicken Man goal was to, last year, complete national expansion. And then next year, the goal for Pizza Man is to go continental and take the business to the diaspora, to the UK, to America.
Oh, really?
Of course. I mean, the long-term plan for Pizza Man is to get listed on the London Stock Exchange. Okay, so we want to make sure that we will demonstrate to investors globally that the brand is not only a Ghanaian business or a Ghanaian brand, but it's a brand that appeals to people globally. We just have to show the trail, the trace. just show working a little, and then we go listing, and then we can have a
Is
significant.
Pinkberry also under your umbrella?
Pinkberry is also one of the. It's not one. It is the largest dessert business
Outlets.
in the,
Really?
in the country. Yes, of course. And
How many
Burger
branches
King,
of that as well?
Pinkberry has over 80 branches nationwide in Ghana. So it's also a big business. I'm also behind Burger King.
Oh, are you the one behind Burger King?
I'm also
You have
behind
the
Burger
franchise
King.
for Ghana?
Yes.
Tell us more.
Mostly these brands like KFC,
Yes.
Burger King, McDonald's, and the like. They normally will give it to Western people, Indians, and the like. But you see, success begets success. A professor in Harvard Business School once told me this. He said, success begets success. When you become successful at something, then it opens the door for you to become more successful. He says that if you want to become successful, be successful at something first. So we were able to get the Burger King franchise, even though we are Ghanaians and we are young people, because we have successly
done Chicken Man and
Pinkberry,
Oh, Pinkberry.
which is also an international franchise. So we were successful at Pinkberry against all odds, and so that becomes a pedestal for us to do other things. Other doors were able to open for us, and of course, we can also showcase what we have done with Pizza Man, Chicken Man, and then when they look at it, like, wow, if you have demonstrated this, then for once we can trust this in your care, and we know we'll do it.
That's an interesting case study, because for a Ghanaian to go out there and, like you said, be handed the franchise, it's not just about money, because I know companies like Burger King, McDonald's, and KFC, they look beyond
No,
that.
you can have
but
the
you've
money
done
beyond
it well.
Yes.
And that is why you
Yes,
earned it.
yes.
So you have Pinkberry, Chicken Man, Pizza Man.
Yes.
You have loads
Yeah.
and under the Quick Angels brand.
Yeah, no
Like
more.
how many companies?
I mean, we are also into. We also have company into healthcare, Ridge Medical Center.
Oh, Rich Medical Center.
Yes, we are heavy
Alright.
also into manufacturing.
Wow.
We have a paint factory. We're also into spices. So you've heard of one of popular spices on the market that is
Sankofa.
global. Sankofa Natural Spices. I mean, it's a global brand.
Amazing.
You go to the UK, US, and it's in the shop there. People love it a lot. You know, so we have Sankofa Natural Spices. It's also one of our brands. We have Dedel Spices. We have OCM, Tilly's. All of these are
You are
brands
everywhere.
that under this. And also, we are also heavily into farming. So I'm a farmer. You know,
Oh,
I love
you
to
are
be
a
called
farmer?
Yes, I'm into rice farming.
So why? I was just looking at it, and yesterday I read somewhere that Ghana imports almost $300 million of rice.
Yes, so
annually.
yes.
Why can't people like you get into that production and cut out that importation?
Yes.
By far, it also helps to stabilize our city.
So we are doing it. I have a very huge
Large scale
large scale rice farm at Aveime. It's called King Ranch. It's a very huge rice farm. We also have the machine that mill rice and everything. You know, but one problem with the rice industry is that, you see, the government wants the private investors like us to invest before they create the market for us. I think that's where the government is getting it wrong. Because as a private person, we invest, we produce the rice, and we have to go and struggle to sell our rice against the foreign ones. And they're saying that there is no, we don't have the capacity to replace the import.
Yeah.
But that
You
will
do-
always be the case until you press the brake. When you press the brake, private investors like us, investors are greedy. Let me put it that way. We smell money. Once you press the brake, we see that the rice market is there for grabs. We will invest everything into it to build a
Richard,
huge
are you
rice
by
farm.
this interview urging the government that you pull the brakes or apply the brakes and put us to the test? We will deliver. Are you sure you can meet that demand?
That's the right thing to do, because you see, that is how you attract private investors to invest their money whilst you are asleep. Investors are always opportunistic. They are looking for opportunity. When you create the market, you create the demand. Everybody wants money. You will see the money channeling there because the opportunity has been created. So when I sit back and watch them talking, what they are saying is very unrealistic. If they don't go this way, give them the next 50 years, we'll always be importing rice.
Interesting.
They can't solve this problem. They have to create the problem first, and then it will
then-
get fixed.
and you think
they
that-
want to fix it without a problem. It can never be
The
fixed.
investors will be ready and they can actually meet the demand if that is a
When
short.
that demand is created, when that gap and that hole is created, even foreigners will run with their money here to come and invest the rice farm, make money. Who doesn't want money?
Well, over to you, the Minister of Agric. I think that is some challenging insights there, and let's see how that goes. Very, very well thought through, and Rechard feels that should be the model, and certainly it will work. How many workers do you have, if I may ask? Because it's a big company, operations that you run.
So in Ghana alone, I have a little over 4,500 direct employees.
On your payroll, you have 4,500
direct. If you talk about indirect, then you are going to tens of thousands of employees.
Coupled with over 300,000 people that are your clients.
Yes,
for bills.
For bills, 300,000.
Rechard, you are really impacting this society and this country.
Yes, true success, you can only define your success based on how you impact society or the country to which you come from. Okay, how your success improve the life and living standard of the people that you live in the country with. That is where true success is. Because you see, as you make money, your happiness is directly proportionate with the money you make to a level. At some level, money does not make you happy anymore. Now, the things that makes you happy is about how you have impacted other people.
Right.
Okay, how you have made the life of other people better. How you have helped change your country, your society, and the like. The family you have built.
So that's where you gain fulfillment.
That is where my fulfillment comes from. So, for example, I have some staff that when the month ends and they end their salary, they will send me a message and say, "Oh, Chairman, thank you so much. I just received my salary and I've been able to pay my mother's medical bills.
That gives you joy.
If not for you, I'm sure my mother would have been dead." Somebody sent me a message and says, "I've been able to pay my child's school fees to gain admission to the university. Chairman, thank you. I used my salary to do that. Not for you, my child will not be going to the university." And I get hundreds of such messages when the month ends. These things inspire me and fulfills me a lot for me to realize that it is not only about me alone and that it's about so many people out there. So when you think that you are tired and you don't want to go anymore, then you are mindful of the fact that when you stop, you are denying other people.
Because you are touching lives.
So you have to keep going. And I also believe that, you see, for every country, the country is blessed with different type of people to hold the affairs of the country. So, for example, we are blessed with people who would be good clergy. We are blessed with people who will be good military people. When there is war, when we are running away, they will be heading towards where the bombs and the bullets are flying.
Judiciary.
And the same applies to people who work in the judiciary, people who will be politicians to make policies, and then people who also be businessmen who will create jobs, bring products and services to the market to give people a better life. So you have to understand that the talent that you have is God-given, and you must make it count. It's not only for you alone,
You must make it count. And those are the key words. That don't just do it, but do it well.
Yeah.
Make it count.
Yeah.
In all of this, yes, we talked about your staff strength and all of that, but you also mentioned you want to retire at 40. Where do you see the business?
Last year, I announced that when I turned 40 this year, I'm going to retirement. And a lot of people have been trying to talk me out. I've had people come knock my door midnight to let me know that it's a bad decision.
But you still stand by it?
But I still stand by it because, you see, a true entrepreneur is measured not by the business that you create, that you manage, but by the business that you create, you manage, and then you develop people. You have to develop people so that they are able to handle the affairs of the business whilst you scale. Because over the years, I've been scaling. I've scaled businesses from a community base to a regional base to national base to continental base. If I was not developing people to be like me, think like me, or even think better than me, act like me, and make decisions as good as I will make, I couldn't have done all of this thing. So over the years, I've been building and developing people to be that good. And I knew that I'll have to walk away at some point because, you see, until you have been able to develop people so well, then you will not be able to measure how good an entrepreneur you are. Because a true entrepreneur is measured by that, not by the business that you manage. Because you may fall sick. I'm human. I may fall sick at some point. If I fall sick,
the business must
what
go
happens
on.
to the business? I'm human. We may die. I could also die. When I die, what happens to the business? Must the business stop because of me? No. So you should have been able to develop people who would be good enough to retire you or to make you idle,
Right.
so that you can go and conceive other things again and bring it again. But I'm not going to conceive other things to come and start day to day. I'm going to conceive. I'm leaving these people because I've built a very formidable team.
Okay.
Over the years, I've tried and tested them. In fact, for the past 3 years, it will interest you to know that I'm the last to make decisions.
You're not in the day-to-day running of the
I've
business.
been allowing my team to make
Wow.
every single decision. And then after they have made the decision, I will check and see whether the decision they have made is almost close to what I would have made or better than what I would have made. And I can tell you that over the years, they have scored over 98% success,
Wow.
which is beyond my expectation.
Expectation.
So the ground is ripe for me to give other people the opportunity to also showcase what they can do and excel. But my retirement means that I am not going to run day to day again, because for the past 15 years, I've been running day to day. All problems come to me every single day, morning, afternoon, midnight, evening, and I'm the one taking these decisions. But for now, I'm going to focus on board duties.
Okay.
I'm the board chairman of all of these businesses.
All right.
So I'll focus on the board, and I'll focus on giving business strategy.
Okay.
Giving strategy to the businesses, focus on funding, budget allocation, performance review, and the likes. And then I will focus my time on attending meetings,
Right.
meeting new people around the world, creating networking, identifying opportunities, and closing deals around the world. When I close the deals, then I'll just send it to them, and then they will execute. And one of the things we are trying to do is to go to the Asian market, the Eastern Asian market, like Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia,
Hong Kong.
all of those places. They are developing countries like us. Their market structure is almost similar like ours. And many of the businesses that we are already doing, that are doing so well here, will do so well there. And we are trying to shift to that side of the world too. And this will require that you hand over certain things for certain people to do, so that you can do bigger things. If you run day to day all the time, then you become short-sighted. You will not be able to see.
And you don't want to be myopic in all of that. But any new projects coming up after you retire? Yes, you want to go into the Asian market and all of that. But locally, what do you want to do? Any initiatives in the pipeline?
Yeah, so we'll continue to invest in new businesses. The team is there.
Right.
There are resources to invest in them. So we'll continue. Everything that we are doing will continue. Nothing is going to stop. The only difference is that I'm not going to be at the forefront of things as I have been over the past 15 years. But I'll be at the very top, at the board level, giving strategy, providing funding, and doing
business development.
Business development.
Well, we'll be wrapping up soon. But as we touch down, I also want to know, for you work so hard, do you make time to relax yourself, Rechard?
So that explains one of the reasons why I want to go on retirement at 40. Because if I look back at my life as a teenager till now, I clearly could tell that even though I do not regret the life that I have lived, I have not lived life to its fullest. My entire life has been about work. And for me, it has always been problem, and problem solving. Okay, so I can say that I love my work that I do, but I don't enjoy it. So, and you don't have to enjoy your work to do it. You must just love it, because that is what pays the bills.
So you don't enjoy what you do,
but I love it.
Because it pays the bills.
You don't have to enjoy. You don't have to enjoy what you do. You only have to love it.
Is it okay to enjoy what you do as well?
It's okay, but you don't have to enjoy it. Okay, because for me, you cannot tell me that anything that if I always bring you pain, you enjoy pains. No. Through my entire career, there's always been pain, problem, trouble.
Solution-oriented person you are.
I'm always solving problems, and that's one of my greatest talent that God gave me. I'm one of the finest problem solvers.
Okay,
that
interesting.
You can never think of.
So now you just want to have an active social life. You want to relax. Just take it easy. Yes. Are you going to travel the world and have fun?
Exactly.
And
go for fishing
and all of that, right?
Go for fishing. Go for hunting.
Bungee jumping. Just go out there. Skydiving.
I want to do all sorts of things to make world complete.
A complete one for you. Interesting way.
So they say life begins at 40.
So you're going to
things. I use my first half of my life to work so hard,
get the money
give
and
me room to enjoy
life.
the second half. because they say life begins at 40. So after my birthday, life begins for me.
That is not a bad way to actually start life, So that is good. But do you have any hobbies? What do you enjoy doing?
I like football.
Oh, you play?
I like football. I like playing table tennis. So
right. I challenge you to a game of TT.
Yeah. I play table tennis.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't
Give
know
me
how
a
to play.
backhand.
I don't know how to play golf. I want to start playing golf.
Why
I'll
not?
go for start. I'll go and start golf lessons.
Golf lessons, okay.
Yeah, I want to do everything that.
Do you enjoy listening to music?
Yes,
Who's your favorite Ghanaian musician?
I'll be listening to Kiddy.
Kiddy, right?
Yes, I'll listen to Kiddy. I'll listen to Stoneboy.
Okay.
I'll listen to Sarkodie. I'll listen
Sarkodie.
to Shatawale. And but I love Kiddy. I love
Kiddy the most.
Kiddy is in my opinion, is the best musician that Ghana has.
Kiddy is the best musician in Ghana.
Yeah.
That is very profound. And you love his artistic and nature and everything, right?
Yeah.
Great. Outside Ghana, who will it be for you? On the continent?
Davido and Diamond.
Davido and Diamond.
Yeah.
Is there a chance, because I know your birthday is coming up, there's going to be a huge party and all of that to celebrate you at 40. Is this something that we should expect Davido and Diamond to perform?
Expect a lot. Anybody that I like will be there. Anybody I love so much will be there.
Oh, then it means that I know the lineup of the
it's going to
performers
be. For my 40th birthday,
Sarkodie is performing.
Everybody will be there. Everybody has to perform.
Diamond Platinum is performing.
Everybody will be there to perform.
So you got the news here, first time. Yes, you're breaking it. And you have to celebrate. What is the night going to be like?
It's about celebration. I want my friends. I want family. I want my business partners, my associates to come and join me to celebrate success. I want to celebrate. It's not about birthday.
Right.
Of course, I'm turning 40. I'm celebrating my 40. But to me, it's about hard work.
Right.
It's about impact. It's about success.
Celebrating life.
It's about it's about everything.
Everything.
I think that I've come from a very difficult position as a person, and where I've gotten to, for me, it's one of the. I'm one of the luckiest human beings alive today.
I love that.
And so I intend to celebrate it hard, just as I'm very passionate with business and I do things very big and passionately on a large scale. When I want to have party, when I want to celebrate you too, it's the same energy. So expect the best. Yes.
So you play big. You do it. You go all out.
Then when we work hard,
you play hard.
Are allowed to also party hard.
I love that. You're my kind of person. So Richard, when all is said and done, now you tell us, what do you want to be remembered for? In just a line, as the man, the guy who came and did what? One day on your tombstone, after 100 years, when you are gone, what do you want?
So, very simple. If it will be possible, people will determine that. I'm not the one to determine that.
But you speak it into life.
I want to remember that young Ghanaian local boy who believed so much in himself and believed that he could take on the world from his local community and impacted the lives of so many people in his country and did the most important thing of not dying with his talent, but imparting his talent and his skill to other young people in his country and on the continent to create wealth together with them. Okay, I want to be remembered for that because one of the things that I'm so much passionate about that I'm doing now is to not to win alone, but to win with other people. Because I think that as Africans, this is one of the areas that we fail so badly at. We always want to win alone, or worst case scenario, we want to win with our family, our nuclear family. So it's all about you, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your children. That is it. But can you partner with another Ghanaian or another African who you are not related to in any way
and win
and bring your resources together and not fight and do something great and big and win together and you all become wealthy and successful and you sit down and enjoy. This is one of the areas that we don't do so well at all. And this is something that over the years I've been doing. And I have been able to, God willing, I've been able to impacted and mentored a lot of young people into business. And I'm not only teaching them how to do business, like going around lecturing, but I am building the business with them, doing it with them, and we are succeeding together, and we are making fortune together. So this is something that I want to be remembered for.
Rechard Niyamakwe.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. It's been an insightful one. And two things for me: discipline and time.
Yes.
And again, create and share.
Yes.
Thank you. It's been an inspiring one, very insightful. Continue to be outstanding in all that you do and keep that loving personality going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Most grateful.
What an explosive and interesting interview it has been. A great session indeed. A man who believes in economic empowerment. In fact, he's passionate about it. What a story. Be inspired. My name is Bolare, and I've been sitting down with the one and only Rechard Niyamakwe. Thank you.